I want to make a promise to you today, and it sounds like a consultant's exaggeration. I promise you that your organization currently possesses the capacity to increase its throughput by 20 to 30%, and in some very critical areas, to double it entirely. To do this, you don't need to hire a single new employee to get this done. You do not need to buy a new piece of software. You don't need to restructure your org chart. The capacity you need is already on your payroll. It is sitting in your office, logging into your Zoom calls, collecting a salary, but you cannot access it because it is locked behind a mathematical constraint that most organizations refuse to measure. Today, I'm going to show you the math. We're going to calculate exactly how much latent productivity is trapped inside your organization, exactly what is causing it, and exactly how to release it. Let's start with the baseline capacity of the modern workforce. According to Gallup's 2026 State of the Global Workforce Report, only 20% of employees worldwide are fully engaged at work. The United States gets a little better. Their number is 32%. That means that roughly 70 to 80% of the global workforce is operating in a suppressed state. They're not giving the discretionary effort. They're operating at the minimum viable threshold required to maintain employment. They're what I call corporate zombies. When a CFO looks at a payroll of 1,000 people, they assume they are getting the output of 1,000 people. The math says they're getting the full output of 200 people and the suppressed output of 800 people. Why? W. Edwards Deming, the father of modern quality management, gave us the answer decades ago. 94% of all organizational failures are failures of the system, not the individual. And who owns the system? Gallup answers that question too. Their research finds that managers account for at least 70% of variation in team engagement. The math is inescapable. 80% of your workforce is operating below capacity, and 70% of that suppression is directly caused by the management systems that you've built. To understand how this suppression actually works, we have to look at the 4 types of work happening in your organization right now. Gene Kim defines them as business projects, internal projects, changes or management, and the 4th is unplanned work. In a healthy, highly engaged organization, flow efficiency, the percentage of time work is actually being worked on versus waiting in a queue, can reach 30 to 40%. In a zombie-heavy organization, flow efficiency routinely drops to as low as 5%. Again, why? Because of cognitive load and the human constraint. Eli Goldratt taught us in The Goal that every system has a bottleneck, and the throughput of the entire system is dictated by the capacity of that bottleneck. Now imagine your bottleneck is a senior engineer or key compliance officer or a critical supply chain manager. If that person is a zealot, highly engaged, intrinsically motivated, they're operating at 100% capacity or at least near. They're managing their cognitive load, automating repetitive tasks, and pushing work through the constraint. But what if the person at the constraint is a zombie? What if they've been ground down by micromanagement, approval bottlenecks, and a lack of psychological safety? A zombie operates at roughly 60% of their possible throughput. If your bottleneck is operating at 60% capacity, your entire organization is operating at 60 capacity or less. You're throttling the output of every person upstream and downstream of that constraint. I once worked with a financial services firm that had a massive backlog of product features. They thought they needed to hire 50 more developers. We mapped out their value streams and found that the bottleneck, a single security review board staffed by deeply disengaged, overworked reviewers who were drowning in extraneous cognitive load. We ended up not hiring 50 developers. We changed the environment for the reviewers. We gave them autonomy. We automated their repetitive compliance checks. And we connected them directly to the product teams. We turned them from zombies back into zealots. Throughput didn't just increase by 20%, it doubled. Because when you release the human constraint, the entire system accelerates. This is the latent productivity proof. If your organization is running at 60 to 70% of its available capacity due to disengagement, and that disengagement is 94% caused by management-owned systems, then the solution is not to buy more capacity. The solution is to stop suppressing the capacity you already own. Moving an employee from a zombie state to an engaged state represents a 20 to 30% gain in individual throughput. Moving a bottleneck from zombie to zealot can double the throughput of your entire value stream. The $10 trillion that Gallup says we lose every year to a disengagement is not gone. It's just trapped. It is latent productivity, waiting for a management team with the courage to change the system. You do not need to hire your way out of the current growth plateau. You just need to build an environment that allows the people you already have to do the work they actually want to do. The math is clear. The capacity is there. The only question is whether you're willing to unlock it. Thank you.